Hello, Dr. Jess. My name is Sean. I had the movie Fundamentals of Caring. Basic overview of the movie. There are a couple of main characters. Trevor and Ben are two of the main characters. There's the mom. Excuse me. Basically, Trevor is depicted in the movie to have Duchenne muscular dystrophy, while Ben is his caretaker. Some background information about Ben. He's an ex-writer, and he had a tragic accident earlier in his life with his son dying, which almost makes him want to become a caretaker. Throughout the movie, they go on a long car ride, which they face adversity and troubles, but along the way, they meet some friends who help them get through it and help those friends with their adversity and troubles. Regarding the questions in class, the disabilities shown throughout the movie are Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and although it isn't precisely shown in the movie or said, Ben might have PTSD from the death of his son. The second question, despite Trevor's disability, he's able to make lighthearted jokes of it, and this is shown throughout the whole entire movie. He doesn't seem to let it get to him. We can see this through his relationship with Ben throughout the movie. Yet when he meets his father, he wants nothing to do with him, as he just offered him some money for his troubles and growing up without him. In response to the third question, Trevor was confident to ask one of the hitchhikers that they met, Dot, on a date despite his disability, which shows he eventually found himself confident enough to ask her out without the lingering thought in the back of his mind, oh, she might say no because I am disabled. And although he is shy towards her at first, he grows to be more comfortable with her and himself, and it's really apparent throughout the movie. Some of the barriers seen throughout this movie, the first one I would say is definitely the mother. She created a routine for Trevor. Like, there were certain times he could watch TV, certain times he had to do stuff, and it was a really strict routine. Like, he followed it constantly every day, same regular routine every day. So it's almost like there was no off balance tracking throughout his routine. He always knew what he was doing at a certain time every single day. I would say that would be the first barrier. Another barrier that there could be is the mental barrier with Trevor. Knowing that he has a certain routine, he does the same stuff every day. Once you get in that certain mindset, it could be really hard to get out of it. Because I know for me personally, if I was doing the same thing every day, going off track might set me off. And that could be the same thing for Trevor, because I know when Ben first mentioned the idea of the road trip, Trevor himself thinks that he can't do it. He is not confident in himself. He thinks things can go wrong. And that, to me, is just one of the second barriers that I saw throughout the movie. It's just his mindset at first, thinking he can't do it, considering he follows a certain routine and it's very strict, and he does it every day. Some financial aspects regarding question number 5 was Trevor's family having to pay Ben since he is his caretaker. Although he was hired by an agency, Trevor makes a comment about not paying him a certain amount of money for nothing. And another financial aspect could be the chair Trevor uses. They're not cheap per se, and they could be financially costly to a family who, let's say, doesn't make the most amount of money, yet has a child who needs to be in a chair like that to help them get around, help them do their daily activities. And I think the average cost for one of those, maybe the lowest functioning ones, around $1,000. I'd say probably around there. Regarding number 6, policies and laws that affected Trevor throughout the movie. I wouldn't really say any laws per se affecting him precisely for his disability compared to the movie that we watched in class. Like, where I forget what his name was, but when they were in the waffle shop, how the waitress kicked them out because I think it was called the ugly laws or something around there, where they could kick you out depending on what you look like, regarding of their customers' well-beings, because these customers saw people with disability as ugly, like unpleasant to look at. So the waitress kicked them out of the waffle place. But in this movie per se, I wouldn't really say there was many laws like that affected Trevor and Ben throughout their journey. And yeah, that's it regarding the questions. But some key points, or not key points, some key notes that I took on the movie. When Trevor went to go see his dad, or when they saw his dad, he confronted him about not seeing him since he was a child, leaving him. And Trevor found out that all the notes that he was getting from his dad were never from his dad. His dad never actually wrote the notes to him. It was actually his mother, which kind of surprised me, considering that, when he was getting these letters, maybe it showed that his dad cared a little bit, but actually it was his mother, which means his dad really didn't care at all. And his dad only offered to give him a lump sum of money for all the years that passed by without seeing him, giving him no contact, considering her as his mom. And that was one of the points that just really stood out to me. Another one, Dot, who's played by Selena Gomez. She never saw Trevor as less than a person, or a person who can't do anything because of their disability. She saw Trevor as Trevor. It never bothered her. She didn't see his flaws, only saw him as him, and that really spoke out to me. Towards the end of the movie, we see more of a father-son relationship between Trevor and Ben, and I think it's good for them both, considering Ben lost his son and Trevor's dad was out of his life at a really early stage. So I wouldn't say taking over the roles or replacing them. I'd rather say almost filling wouldn't be the word, but just having that relationship where Ben can look up, or Trevor can look up to Ben, and Ben can teach Trevor things. And I think that's just a good thing to have for both of them, considering their personal circumstances and what they've both been through together throughout the whole entire trip and their whole entire lives. And I think it was just really good for them to be together. Even at the end of the movie, when Ben goes back to writing, he even mentions Trevor as really good friend, still keeping in touch. And that really signifies the relationship that they built throughout the whole entire movie together, in their journey together. Ben being his caretaker and showing Trevor that he can do more than what he thinks he can do, as long as he gets out of his comfort zone. Because none of this would have happened if Ben never got Trevor to go on this road trip with him. And another key point of the movie was when they were driving and some of the signals in the car came on. When they had to stop, Trevor started to freak out because he's never gone this long distance. He doesn't know what's going on, and like following a certain routine, there are certain things he had to do at certain times. So this little bump in the road really freaked him out because he's never had stuff like this, because being in a specific routine all the time. And those are my key takeaways from the movie. Thank you.